Hello and welcome to another video from thefanpub.com. I've got Sean with me.
Fabulous to be back out. And today's video, what are we doing today?
Right, today we're going to be debating a very familiar problem that you're going to be having when you're drafting this season. So we're looking at people at just at the start of the probably second round in like 12-team drafts. So,
okay, yeah.
And it's 4 running backs, so you're going to have this choice. A lot of us are going to have it. Leonard Fournette,
Yep.
Melvin Gordon,
Yep.
Kareem Hunt and Dalvin Cook.
I can see why you put these 4 together. This is interesting. Okay.
They're all going around the same sort of area in your draft. So
right.
which one should people be targeting then? Let's start with the pros and cons of Leonard Fournette then.
Well, I think the positives for him is he's arguably in the best defence in the team, in the league. So arguably Jacksonville have got the best defence. So that means they're going to have a lot of field position that's in their favour, shorter field position, which is good for the running back. So shorter field positions generally mean if it's close in, you got the option of passing and running. He's a good running back. That means less strain on him. So that's good because he suffered with ankle issues, and you want to keep him as fresh as possible. I think they can wear teams down with him. So I think the defence will win. So
you got some good game scripts there.
Very good game scripts for him. I think he's perfect in redraft formats over PPR, and I think a lot of people are going to comment on that. I think we've mentioned this before, me and you, that we prefer him more in a redraft than we do a PPR, but it's only purely because he's not a natural pass-catching back, although there are signs of improvement each season he's been involved in the league. So I think those are the pros. I think the cons, the only con I have on him, and it's a minor one, is just the potential for an injury here. I do worry there's a red flag hanging over on his ankle. Now, at the moment, he's missed a small amount of time, but he has missed time.
How much should people be wary about the ankle injury?
I think at this stage you can't really draft based on the what if he has an injury syndrome. I think the game script suits him well. I'd say it's a minor red flag. You just remember you're drafting a player that this may happen to. Does that mean you have to put emphasis in the backup? I don't necessarily think so.
I don't think you can worry about it in the end.
Not really. But I think the game, more than anything else, the game scripts and everything else as you mentioned, everything is in his favour as opposed to the injury. I was a little bit concerned about it last year. I am concerned about it in Dynasty more than I am redraft. But in redraft, if he's there, he'd be very high on my list. Yeah.
Okay, Kareem Hunt. So what are the pros and cons of Kareem
Well,
Hunt?
I think the positives are that it is a
great rookie season.
A running team. It's a coach that likes the running game. It's a coach that has featured a running back. But it's a coach that is not afraid. The difficult part is it's a coach that's not afraid to make a change when required. So I don't think Kareem Hunt is on a massive leash. They do have a very, very good running back who was injured last year, and that's the only reason. We know that the odds were that Spencer Ware was likely to lose their job. That's just a natural fact of it. We would have predicted about halfway into the season. He never got that opportunity to see if he could hold on to the job or not. So he is still a danger to Kareem Hunt, because if Kareem Hunt was to miss any early season time and then Spencer Ware come in and light the league up,
or even he could eat into his share.
He could eat into the share. The other part that worries me, of course, you have to be a little bit wary, no matter how much I do like Patrick Mahomes. He's a rookie quarterback. And so when the emphasis comes onto the running game, that means that coordinators can stack the box and see what happens.
Yeah, if it's not happening for Mahomes.
It does mean that there's a little bit more risk. So I think out of the 2 we've just discussed so far, that Kareem Hunt has more risk. Funny enough, he's going at a higher ADP, which is interesting.
But is his reward higher than Fournette's?
I don't think it's any higher. Do you? How do you feel about it? Do you think it's a higher reward, or do you think
rank him about the same? I think.
Yeah,
but
I think similar's fair. That's why I've chosen.
I think another good thing for Hunt is he rarely fumbles, although he did on his first ever play in the NFL. I don't think he fumbled in all the college. He didn't fumble since.
I'm okay with him in terms of I don't.
So he's not going to lose a job that way.
No, I think the only way he loses the job is through injury, and I'm not saying he's injury prone because I've not seen that, but. He did get nicked up and banged up towards the end of the season. We did see a slump in the middle of the year, which I think he picked up a bit towards the end. But it was a big slump. We forget that if you look at his early first few weeks, he lit the league up and you thought you were dealing with an MVP here. Really did. I mean, those first 4 weeks I thought, oh my God, there I am having got Spencer Ware go down. I couldn't pick up Kareem Hunt because he got snagged away. And I'm thinking, I've done myself. And then there was a huge slump, and the problem was you had to keep playing him and playing him and playing him and playing him.
You do. No.
And for several weeks, unfortunately.
So there's a possibility of a sophomore slump, really, as well.
Potential, yeah. So there is risks. There is risk, but again, he finished the year strong. He started the year strong, and those are good signs.
Okay, Melvin Gordon.
Solid. He's been solid both his 2 years. San Diego, a team a lot of fantasy enthusiasts are keen on. Their defense is okay. It's pretty solid.
Pretty good, yeah.
The offense can spray the ball around, so there's nothing not to like. The quarterback's underrated. We all know that. They have a slight issue at tight end, but I think before the season starts, they will have addressed that, whether it's through Antonio Gates, as you've commented, it could happen. The running game, they've kind of said they want to take a bit of pressure off him. Well, I guess that's sensible. Is he going to carry the ball 220, 240 times? Yeah. Is he going to get catches as well? Of course he is. So what's not to like, really? I mean, he's still the upside.
Still going to have a large role.
I think the floor we've seen. I think the ceiling we've seen. I don't think there's a lot between them. I think he's very solid. He's going to give you a steady amount of points in that part of the draft. You're not disappointed if you're picking him because you feel you know what you're going to get.
And the thing about Melvin Gordon, he hasn't got like a Spencer Ware in the back, lurking about in the background. There's no one. No. I mean, Eckler will get touches, but
there's nobody threatening.
And they've got a new rookie, but
I think he trains off season well. He doesn't show any signs of wearing down. He doesn't look the kind of guy who, if he's injured, he doesn't show it. He's got all the qualities you want in the back. I do like that about him. So he's another strong candidate.
And the final one of the four is Dalvin Cook.
Very exciting player.
He's going the lowest out of all these. So
yeah, it's interesting because we're both fans of his for this year. I'm curious to see how high you rate him. But I'm getting, as we're getting nearer to these big drafts, the big ones, I'm getting more and more excited that I've taken him in some leagues already. And I must be honest, maybe it's just a bit of fever, but I do feel the offense is brilliant for him. The opportunity to shine in that offense is huge. What he showed in a small sample size, 444 yards. I mean, it's mouth-watering.
4 weeks?
Mouth-watering opportunity. I mean, if he gives you 13 games or 14 games, he could win you a league. I mean, he's got that capability. You are going to have to take him as a first-round pick.
And he can do it all as well.
And he can do everything. And it's a very good defense. It's a very good offense. They've added the quarterback. They've got great wide receivers. And who do you mark here in this team? I mean, there's Carl Rudolph, arguably one of the best tight ends. Who do you mark? I mean, a coordinator's it's a coordinator's nightmare. And the other thing that really works into Dalvin Cook's favour, I think, is because when you look at the stats on Kirk Cousins, he doesn't favour anybody particularly. He sprays the ball around. So the running back will get his share of dump-offs because that makes sense. It's what a quarterback does. If you're in trouble, dump the ball off. So for me, I mean, I only see a winner from all of this. Plenty of share of the job. Dalvin Cook, I think out of the four, I would want to own him the most, but that may be a little bit
the cons
high.
For Cook, let's just briefly talk about
Well, injury is the key con. I mean,
so we lost him after four or five games.
He is coming off a serious injury.
And small sample size as well.
Yeah, there's no guarantees he recovers to what we believe him to be, and that is a big risk. He's the risk reward. That's why his ADP is where it is, because I think if we hadn't have had that injury, even if he'd missed time, and it was something smaller, he would have been through the roof.
Okay, so rank them in order for me.
Well, I'm going to go number one. I am going to take Dalvin Cook out of that bunch.
Okay, so very interesting there because he's going the lowest.
Often flipping the switch, unfortunately, but it's just my belief on where he will finish. I'm getting quietly confident about Leonard Fournette.
So you had Fournette ranked 2 there. So Gordon and Hunt for the.
I'm going Melvin Gordon, then Kareem Hunt. So I'm actually flipped the switch on the top one and top.
The top and the bottom.
I've flipped them over, and it's purely because I'm more worried about Kareem Hunt. There was a massive void of points early in the middle of the season.
And a new QB is a big thing, really.
It is.
However,
no matter how you switch it off. I mean, I am a fan of Patrick Mahomes, and he can throw it around. But coordinators do this to young quarterbacks. They'll take shots at them. They'll use corner blitzes. They'll stack the box and say, "Go on, then beat us. See if you can beat us throwing the ball. Show us you can do it." If he shows he can do it, then the game opens up for Kareem Hunt a lot more. But also, he's got to face early doors a lot more contact. So,
but if he struggles early, then that, like you say, loaded boxes.
Loaded boxes is a big problem. So
Spencer Ware lurking in the background.
Very interesting. I mean, I don't mind any of the four, if I'm being honest. I mean, in fantasy, you'd be happy to get one.
You're not saying don't draft Hunt, but
no, it's just you have to be a bit more wary. I mean, I think the nice thing with Kareem Hunt, and I guess this is the thing, is realistically, it is his job to lose now, and that's the positive. But there is Spencer Ware, and he is no slouch. If he wasn't there, I wouldn't have any issues.
Yeah, I mean, you've got TJ Yeldon against Fournette, but he's never going to take that job. Gordon's definitely the number one at.
Yeah,
and
there's nobody close.
Latavius Murray, I suppose he did.
Well, yes, that is a very valid point. Actually, I'm glad you raised it. We didn't touch on that in the video, and it's worth mentioning because that's the comment that was brought up by Snyder beautifully, actually, which is Latavius Murray may well be more used than people think. And I think he has a point, because if anything's wrong with Dalvin Cook,
or even if they want to look after him a little bit,
they have to take the pressure off.
That's
so Latavius Murray has definitely taken a bit of wear and tear. But even considering all those things, I'm still taking...
the Vikings game scripts, they're going to be ahead a lot.
Yeah.
And, they're going to have a bit of a mix of, Latavius Murray in there.
I could see
see out the game.
I could see Murray taking, when the game is won in the fourth, them taking the pressure off Cook. But I think, Cook will have definitely...
Cook's an exciting player to
Definitely, Cook will have already by that stage had his 12 to 15 touches. And I think, like Alvin Kamara, he will make the most of those. So I don't have an issue with that.
Well, what do you guys think? So we'd love to hear what you think. I mean, Sean's made a very bold statement there. He's ranked Cook first and Hunt last. So, that is...
Curious to see how others view
There's not many people doing that. So we'd love to know what you think. Do you agree? Has Sean got it horribly wrong?
Yeah.
Please somebody tell him.
Very possible.
We're always happy with that. And thanks very much for watching.
Take care of yourselves.